Okay, looks like we have good enough people to start, I guess. So that's good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So it's been, I don't know how many weeks? 2 weeks since we met? Yeah? Kind of? Yeah, now you know me. Now I know you. So that means that's good. And are you still enjoying the program? Yes. Good. You're still... Yes. Sasha, you have a point. Yes, I'm glad you're still here. We have a more than 90% of show up every time. That means I'm doing all right. And we're doing okay. That's good. So, again, same question. Whose life has changed since you came to the program? Oh, good, good. Anyone who wants to share why or how your life has changed? Anything that maybe, I don't know, triggered your life to a different level, or any talk or any discussion or any activity? Hey, Yumi.
Yuki.
Close. Yuki, okay. I know there's Yumi.
There's Yumi, there's Yuka.
And there's Yuka, and there's two Yukis. Two Yukis. Forget it. Okay.
My life hasn't changed, but my mindset has changed.
Okay.
I think I have more possibilities.
Yeah.
I think I can do more than what I think I can do. And my husband is also really into this kind of thinking, and he wants to start a business one day.
Okay.
And I'm really up for it now after doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're kind of sending more messages to your husband?
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
good.
I really want to do this. And
Good. All right. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah. Anybody who tried a new thing, or maybe you, I don't know, many of you know you're working, so maybe you tried something new at work, just a little bit. No, not brave enough. Okay, now you're Yumi. Yeah. I know. Okay, Yumi. Okay.
After the prototyping session, actually I tried to make prototype at my project at the office.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Yeah, I'm working on the convention, international convention.
Yeah.
And I tried to make an exhibition booth in the meeting room.
Okay.
And try to using the color TV.
Okay.
And my manager first time look like, what are you doing right now? Don't play with the color tape.
Okay.
After I made the prototyping and I explained how I did it, and he actually helped me to improve the prototyping exhibition booth.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Okay. And did you learn anything new about the booth that you'll be building at the exhibition?
Yes. Actually, we were thinking to use 80 inch of the display on the booth. But
80 inch. Wow.
Yeah, 80 inch. But we realized after it's prototyped it was too big for our booth.
Okay, you should have known that before you built it. Okay, that's good.
It could see the balance of our panel or the.
That's a great example, because when you talk about 80 inch, you think you know 80 inch, right? But until you saw 80 inch, you don't really know what 80 inch looks like in your booth, right? Who have experience like this? Who bought a too big TV for your room? Okay, you've done it. Okay, right. Because your TV looks okay at the shop, right? Because the electronics store is huge, but your room is like like a doghouse. And it doesn't fit, right? I had one time my friend in Honda, he bought 60-inch TV. Wow. He doesn't have a family, he lives alone in a very small apartment. He said, okay, why don't you come over and we'll play Wii together. Nintendo Wii. Okay? And we found out the Nintendo Wii resolution was so low that we can see dots. And some guys were were getting seasick because of the display being so big. And now he cannot open his window, and he's almost living with the TV. So yeah. So check the size is good. What great. So you tried something. So again, that's the whole point, okay? Don't try to try everything. Don't try to do everything that we've been talking about, but try just one thing. Even like one discussion about, just simple discussions such as, hey, what's the real value we're trying to create? Do that discussion with your project buddies or project managers and I don't know who, but that might change your project a lot. Okay? And, challenging a prototype is great. Sometimes it's very difficult, but it's great. And try to do such a discussion or a new thing so that it will, then you understand what we've been talking about. I think a little more better. Okay? And today, since I have it here, who knows the movie? Karate Kid? Who knows the movie? Okay. Who knows the movie called Miracle? Miracle or Miracle on Ice? Okay, let me explain. From maybe Keio Edge 2016, we will include this to the reading material. No, we were so serious about doing this for this year, but we weren't sure yet. So, but yeah, we have other things for other movies such as Right Stuff. It's a story about the astronaut. No? Okay. Yeah, we're geeks. Yes. So this is about a boy, American boy, learning karate from this weird Japanese old guy, Mr. Miyagi, and he speaks very interesting English. Yes, I try to learn how he speaks, but I don't know. But he speaks perfect English, of course. He's an actor. He acts like a old Japanese guy from Okinawa who speaks broken English. He sounds like a karate master, and he is a karate master. So, and the interesting thing about this movie is that how this boy learns karate, or how this Japanese old man, Mr. Miyagi, teaches him karate, because he never teaches him how to punch or kick, right? But he asks this boy, Daniel-san. Okay, his name is Daniel, and Mr. Miyagi calls him Daniel-san. Hi. That's how he sounds like, okay? Right? So, Mr. Miyagi asked him to wash his car, basically. Or, wipe his car, or, put the wax on and off his car. He's a car dealing guy, okay? And he asked this boy to do other things, like, I don't know. You just saw. What did Mr. Miyagi ask the guy to do? Oh, the painting. Yes. Painting the wall. Yeah. All he asks is this weird things around the house, okay? And Daniel, he never know why he's doing this, and he doesn't know, the whole purpose of doing this. But every motion that he was told to do was connected to karate, okay? So Mr. Miyagi never taught him how to kick or punch, but all of a sudden Daniel-san becomes so strong and blah, blah, blah. I know, don't blame me, it's from 1970s. Or 80s? Yes, 80s. So don't blame me, but the teaching process or learning process of this movie is so interesting. I mean, there are some things that cannot be taught, right? So these are not teaching, right? But it can be learned, okay? So it cannot be taught, but it can be learned. So there's a difference of being able to teach and able to learn. So what we're doing here in Keio Edge is very similar to this karate, because we cannot really teach you how to become innovative or, I don't know, to become an entrepreneur. But you can learn somehow, right? And we can maybe tell you who's been successful or maybe how we've been doing, but we can never teach you how to do it, because you're the one who needs to do it, actually. But you can learn. So I know it sounds like a riddle, but I think there's a truth in it. It cannot be taught, but it can be learned. So yeah, okay, I'm more convinced. Next year, this is gonna be on the list. Okay. So and this is not for this intensive workshop. Maybe this is for project-based learning. So this is based on a true story called Miracle on Ice. It's a 1981 Lake Placid Winter Olympics game. So Team USA, Team USA of ice hockey won the gold medal. Okay, that's a result. That's a fact. And this was the first time that Team USA was consist of non-professionals. Okay, until 1981, it was all the NHL players, National Hockey League. So all the professional players were collected, and they were the national team. But 1981, the head coach, Harbrooke, he decided not to go with the professionals, but he decided to go with the high school kids, I mean the college students. Okay? So he recruited university or college students from all over the country, and then he made a team. Of course, individual talent was probably lower than the professionals, but they won the gold medal, first time in the history of USA National Olympic Team. So it was a very history-making event because it was the first time USA won over the Soviet Union. So it's a true story, and it's very interesting how they built the team. Okay, because basically all the kids collected from all over the United States were basically jerks. Okay, because they think they're the best players on the planet. Okay, and you have 22 of those on your team. So, but you still make them into a new team, right? So how the Harbrooke went through this process is so interesting. It's, I don't know, from my perspective, this is the Disney movie, but this is nowhere near Disney taste. Because there's no hugging, kissing, nothing at all. It's all boys, just one woman, the Harbrooke's wife. Okay? It's very rare to see that in the movie from the United States because it's always about, love somewhere, right? But in this movie, none. Basically, you see sweat and yelling of coaches and the players. But I think there's the real essence of creating a very strong team out of very strong individuals. Because if you don't have very strong individuals, you will never get a good team, strong team, right? And if you have a very strong individual, it's very difficult to become a team. Yeah? I'm pretty sure all of you suffered it already. A couple times, or a few times, within these weeks, right? And when we're moving into the project-based learning, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder because you're a different background, you're a different nationality, you have different thoughts. So maybe if you're interested, it's nice to see this movie. How to create a strong team out of strong individuals. And it requires you sweating, yelling, and fighting. That's the summary of this movie. But at the end, the gold medal. So, very short. It's quite interesting. I mean, we all saw, the instructors, we all saw it, and we're like so pumped up, and we're like, really like some of the quotes from the movie. And so if you're interested, please take a look. It's really cool. And today, we are moving into the business synthesis. And me and Hiro will be providing the materials. Because, okay, so this is very real. I'm an engineer, right? I'm basically an engineer, and he's basically a business person. I can't do everything by myself, right? But well, I can talk a lot about, a lot of things, but I need help from some professionals. And business person is the one you really like to have in your team. And if you think you're the business person who might be contributing to your team, then you probably want to ask Hiro a lot of questions. Okay? And before we get into the materials, to begin, we are not going to talk about MBA stuff here. Okay? But of course it is related. It is related. You will see some words and terms and, I don't know, maybe some things from MBA textbooks. But we are not teaching you MBA materials. Because we never taught you engineering materials, right? We never did that in the past few lectures. We never taught you how to draw or how to paint, the design, the technical aspect of the design. We never did that. But we talked about that, but we don't do that here as well. We don't talk about MBA techniques or materials in detail, but we will cover some of those. Okay? But the aim is that we want you to be, we want you to become comfortable talking about, or the protocol that business person uses, and the protocol necessary for you to become an entrepreneur in any domain. So for some of you who are a little more into the business domain, you may think, oh, I know this stuff, right? You may think, oh, I already know this stuff. But what you don't know is how to actually utilize your knowledge in a condition of innovation, development, or entrepreneurship. So that's the whole point of this business synthesis of a day 6. Okay. Before we get into, isn't this room hot? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, let me go briefly review the materials we've been talking about. So on the day 1, I've talked about innovative, and then so this is something related to today. A new solution with a new value. Okay, and today we will talk about new value creation in terms of economics. So that's how we put it. Okay, we were talking about new value creation in terms of economics. And entrepreneurship, and so I've talked about that on the first day, and Hiro will talk about his experience, and he, as an entrepreneur, about almost the same thing, but from his point of view and from his experience. And it is always I, okay? It is always I. So when we discuss business today, don't try to think, oh, we will, not me, but him or her will do this or think about this. It's always you. You need to think about the business synthesis as well, okay? You cannot be just, okay, I'm just an idea creation guy. Don't be that, okay? You need to be thinking about the business perspective as well. So that's that. And I've shown you this diagram that new value creation sits on top of the innovativeness and entrepreneurship, and it's still the same. And today we are again going to talk about money. No, the value, okay? The value is not just about money. Of course, money or cash is of course a big value. It's a common value for a lot of people. But there are different types of value that we can talk about. And this, we will revisit this today when we talk about our business synthesis. And value can be someone's benefit, gain, joy, and pain reliever, and excitement, peace of mind, many other things. And we will have an exercise. You try to clarify the value of your business, or core value for your business. And in the design thinking, I told you that design thinking needs a mindset, and the keyword empathy. And empathy, you will probably remind yourself about the empathy when we talk about pains and gains. Okay? Pains and gains will become your source of your value proposition. But when you talk about pains and gains of your customer, you need to empathize to your customer. And this is a quote, direct quote from David Kelly, that try to really understand what they really value. Okay? So this is what David Kelly says in the video. So when we talk about pains and gains, I really want you to try to empathize your customer. And system thinking. So this was day 3 that we talked about, and it was about the whole and the part and interrelationship and all these aspects. Maybe implicitly, I want you to try to remember that too when we discuss about the business synthesis today. Okay? So, okay, this is today's material. The business synthesis, and this is the Keio Edge definition. There is no word, I don't think there is a phrase or the phrase business synthesis in the dictionary, because this is something we created. Okay? And there's a reason why we created this. So business, analysis is more common, right? Business analysis, like SWOT analysis, or maybe many more analysis you might have read in the book, right? And I know many of you are aware of those analysis techniques and tools. But what we're missing here is that it has to be combined with synthetical mindset and tool set. Okay, if you are only having the analytical tool set, then there is not much use of it. Okay, analytical tool set is truly powerful when it's combined with a synthetical mindset and tool set. Okay, you create and you check your design. Okay, whether it's looking good or robust. Okay, so that's the combination you like to have. If you only have analytical tool set, what do you analyze? Where is your target, right? Where do you bring that target from? You have to synthesize first to be able to analyze, right? So synthesizing and analyzing is like a pair. It's like having a right tire and then the left tire. If you only have a left tire only, then where do you go? You go around, right? If you want to go far, then you want to have right so the tire and then the left tire. So business synthesis, we coined this word in such a way. And the business synthesis is a part of a new value creation process. So I want to give you a little explanation. So maybe if you're not a business person, like me, engineer, okay? I had this idea before, okay? Because I'm an engineer, or because I'm a designer, I don't talk about business. Because I know I'm not good at, and I know my friend is better at. So don't become that person, okay? It's a part of your new value creation process. So you may not be an expert in business synthesis, but you are a part of the team talking and actually implementing this part, the business synthesis. So don't say, I'm an engineer and I don't go over this river, okay? This is the river of engineering and business, and I'm not getting to that land. No, please forget about that attitude, okay? Business synthesis is something you need to work on with your business background friends, okay? So it's a part of a new value creation process. And it is about designing and developing and realizing your new value chain from economical point of view. And yes, we do talk about money and cash, but it is not only about money and cash. And another important thing is that we will talk about some numbers today, but every number or every figure has uncertainty, okay? Are you familiar with the word uncertainty? It's you don't know how much it might change from what you guessed, okay? So uncertainty is a key word for the entrepreneurship or maybe a new value creation. Because if you are certain about something, don't do that business. Because you're not going to win in that field. Okay? Big players will win in a less uncertain field. Okay? You are entrepreneurs, you're a startup. You have a chance to win this battle only when there's a high uncertainty. Do you get this? Okay? If there's low uncertainty, then your opponent, maybe IBM, will take everything. Or maybe Apple will win the game because they're big. Because they have a resource. You have a chance because there's a hyper high uncertainty. Okay? I know it's a little confusing, but I hope this message will get, pass through this, after today. Okay? And it is combined with decision making because it's uncertain. It's always uncertain. You never know what is right, what is wrong. So it needs to come with decision making. Right? So this is how we kind of define or how we kind of flavor our term business synthesis. And before we move into the material we're talking about, this is the big picture I kind of want you to understand just a little bit. I know tomorrow we're going to have a lecture, but I know those who are working cannot make it tomorrow. I knew that. Sorry that we had to do it on the Monday. But, this is something we will be talking or doing tomorrow. So this is basically a grand view of new value creation process. Some words we already used in the previous lectures, but some words are not used. But it's very clear to understand. So what we're talking today is somewhere around here. Okay? So let me kind of briefly introduce you to the concept. So this is the new value creation process. We think that whenever you want to develop a new idea and make it into a new business or a new venture, then your process is somewhat like this. So you need to have a problem definition for your project, and then you need to have a design principle for your product or service or whatever solution. And then you can do functional design and physical design. This is architecting. And today we will start our talk with the use case. Okay? And I will explain what the use case is. And then because you clarified the use case, now you understand your value proposition better. And value proposition helps you to understand your unit economics of your idea or your product or whatever. And then marketability can be estimated. Again, it's still estimation. And once you're there, now you can talk about profitability. Okay? So we are going to follow this big picture, especially this red part today. But tomorrow, when you come, I will ask you to do all in one day. Okay? So that's what you will be doing for tomorrow. It's a design process exercise. Okay? And we will guide you through the process. But that's something you will be doing tomorrow. And then for the project-based learning, basically the same. But today I will talk about here. So let me start out from talking use case. And after the use case, I will have Hiro to introduce himself, and then we are going to move on to the value proposition. But before to do that, I will talk about use case. And for use case, I want you to try to use the idea that you prototyped last week. Yeah. So who were not here last week? I know Takeo-san wasn't. Okay, you weren't. So let's see. Who need an engineer? Which team want an engineer? Okay, you're getting one. Good. Takeo-san, you're in this team. And your name, Tatiana. Okay. Where do you want to go? Okay, good. That's fine. All right. So stick to the idea, or maybe the last version of your idea. Okay? At the end of the day, from the prototyping session. Let's stick to that and let's discuss use case. Okay? So use case is high resolution understanding of how your stakeholder interact with your solution. For example, user interacting with your product is one of the use case, right? And other use case may be the sales clerk trying to sell your product to your customer. So that could be another use case. But I want you to make it a high resolution understanding of that. And context, so in the parentheses, before and after your value delivered is also important. So do you remember last time we met? So some teams had which team? The laptop bag. Oh, it was Sasha, right. And they were mentioning, okay, this bag gonna work perfectly, when you sit and you have it on the lap, and your laptop is inside this bag and blah, 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 okay? That's good, but do you remember what I told you? What about before you sit in the chair, right? Like when you're carrying it, when you're in the I don't know, train, and I asked, maybe it was Yumi, right? Because she had a pink dress. And then, so your bag looks kind of bulky and big and, I don't know, non-stylish. Do you think she'll appreciate carrying that around? So that was my question. So, such things. So the context. I know your customer will, appreciate the value when he or she is actually using it. But what you really need to be thinking is that before and after this value is being delivered. Okay? So how about after using this bag? Is it easy to, clean up and just go? Or is it, I don't know, it asks you to certain procedures to actually neatly fold it down. So I want you to have a high resolution understanding of the use case. Okay? So try to focus a little bit before and after your product or service is being actually appreciated. All right? So maybe some questions like how did he or she get to the place where she appreciated your product? Or what was he or she doing before reaching your product? For example, maybe it was Maria's case. You were talking about someone having coffee while using computers, right? I think that was very good because your product is often used with some other things. For their example, they noticed that their laptop is always, or what was the idea?
Was a cover and
it was a cover with the.
Then has a tray.
Right.
Where you can put smartphone.
Right. It was basically it was a laptop cover that comes with the clipboard and then some cup holders, right? And then their cup holder. So when they talked about this, they said when you work on your computers, you're always eating something or drinking something, right? So they said, okay, why not we give them a tray for that so that it doesn't spill on your laptop. So like that, I mean, your solution is rarely existing alone. It does exist with some other things. So maybe they have visited a coffee shop before it comes to your product or service. So things like that. And of course, emotional transitions, are they really in a hurry, or are they really depressed or happy when they're using your product or after using your product, and things like that. So understanding the use case helps you to focus the true value and also to find new pains you might be introducing. Okay? So do you remember the shelf idea? Maybe we had 2 shelf teams, right, I guess? So yes, shelf may be a very good solution and then a value creation, but installing a shelf is a huge pain, right? Because what's the largest pain of installing a shelf? Anybody? Largest pain for you?
You have to fix it.
You have to, right, do the construction work?
And here in Japan, the walls doesn't stand shelves.
Right, because, yeah, they're weak, yes. My pain is measuring. Yeah, measuring the right size is my huge pain because I think I'm measuring it right, but are you super sure when you're at IKEA, you're getting the right size? I always have that fear, oh my god, I might be missing like a few centimeters. It may not fit, right? There's always a fear of me making wrong measurement and buying a wrong shelf, right? Who have bought a wrong shelf before? Okay, many people are suffering, yes. Even like designers or engineers, we make wrong measurements. So, that's a new pain you might be introducing your customer to. So, okay, for your exercise, try to create a journey map. I'll explain a little bit about the journey map for your use case. And you can try in a different resolution, maybe in the seconds order, or minutes order, hours order, days order. It depends on what solution you have. And maybe you want to try different scopes. Maybe from buying to using, or maybe from using to getting rid of. Okay? It depends on what kind of service or product you're talking about. So what I'm asking is basically draw like a line and then start to mark how your user experience your product or service. All right? And then it depends on your idea, what resolution you want to get into. Might be seconds, might be minutes, might be days. It depends. All right? And then in the bootcamp bootleg, in page, is it really 19? I don't think so. I really missed copy. Do you have that with you somewhere in the booklet? I think it was. I don't know where. Is it 19? Oh, yeah, no, 16. Sorry. Yeah, 16. Please take a look at that. It's basically telling you to do the same. Okay. So journey map really helps you to understand how your user going to interact with your product or service. And we're going to do this because I would like to introduce you to the value proposition concept after this. So what I want you to try to focus is that, so try to identify exactly where your user will appreciate what value. Okay? And at the same time, talk about a new pain you might be introducing. For example, for your shelf, you might be giving them the spaces and the freedom I don't know, hanging your stuff, in the room. But there is a new paint you might be introducing, installing, measuring, and things like that. So try to have that distinguished. So maybe your new values that you want to provide is in red, or and the paint in blue. It depends on you. Okay. So try to draw something like this. It depends on you. It's up to you. If you want to draw, I don't know, pretty pictures, that's fine. If you want to go my way, just text, that's okay. All right? So take out the whiteboard paper, and then maybe you need some time to talk about what you've been building, because it's a week ago, so you might not remember a whole lot about it. So maybe briefly discuss what was your prototype last time, and then let's start drawing this journey map of your prototype. And you can choose, maybe if you have time, or if you decide to go in this direction, you can do 2 lines for a separate situation. That's fine. Okay? But at least you please have 1. Okay? Understood? All right. So I'll give you, let's say, I'll give you 30 minutes. I'll give you 30 minutes to work on this. So I'll give you about 30 minutes. So please discuss and start drawing your journey map of your solution or your idea. All right.
It's usually same team, right? Maybe like start Yeah. Like opening up to that top. Yeah. I'll open up to that top. Maybe we can do
It's my laptop too. That's right.
No, not yet.
I would just, it wasn't anything important.
So what do you mean by
So I was talking about the context, like the next, right? And then the lecture.
maybe like at home? Or like at stay?
So you wanted to talk about
For what we're for everything. For everything.
So first when you have like space here and then we have stuff on the here kind of talking about and then like Keio was entering the coffee shop where he wants to like work.
Yeah, I just didn't hear it. I didn't.
Some people start to so we were starting to like workshop also so individual of course but then people say who wants to buy this
Did we have
wait, maybe we can apply to the stock
Then to get the product,
not to the individuals. So that was the idea. So that we can maybe we can so that
I know.
the customer wants to get it.
Of course I know.
It looks like this.
the first time.
School, college, or a library, or a university, or something. If the user doesn't move it, doesn't buy it. So we start with the same concept. Enter the room. And then probably there would already be a chair.
And maybe if you are very like,
So the situation
like
may be
wake
something
up,
about
you have to remember everything that you have to bring to your
Right, that's what
wake up and how to remember everything that you So I think that this makes that probably we didn't think of how we would carry or if the normal like backpack if our cover doesn't fit
So I think it's the first is enter the room.
that you don't create a new thing.
Right, we said that
Size
the school or the library or the company would buy many of these. That's the idea. But the experience with the school or the library or the company is different than the user. So the user enters the room.
the person going to the office.
So this is the next step. It's like you find. Maybe we should come up with a name.
I don't know, we have to decide. We think that this is a product for office. We can decide, but then we have to
Does it have to be hyperbole? Does it have to be
Combine the words concentrate. sense. Okay, for now, we can just do.
Yeah. So okay, we were reading a scientific.
I can't read scientific.
Right. So he would normally, oh yeah, he or she would be normally in not necessarily. Okay, so like we have to choose one.
Okay, so after you get to the read,
Might change.
the next step is
Just writing. Oh yeah.
assess the situation.
So actually we can change.
Because you have to look and find the one that's green, right? It's just like if you're on a plane, you don't go to the bathroom if it says occupied, because you just stand there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that this one we have to
Yeah,
be
this is
careful
not.
not to create anything.
Oh no, so this is
Carry, for example, carry your laptop in your backpack. But if it doesn't fit your normal backpack, we will call it
this is
backpack. So,
we can. Yes, he also yes said that we can.
box. Is it a box?
I think it's not a
What is our thing? What is it? Yeah, I have to. In this setting, I have to.
What's the first thing? Find a seat or going to the counter? Which one? If you're come together, yeah, it might be. But if you come alone, really? And then you put your stuff. So let's say
something else.
let's say we're at a coffee shop or something. What would you like to do? Going to the counter or find a seat? That's how there will be
Because I don't know if the chair is outside the desk or if it's already inside the desk.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on. Like in the situation where we are so finding a seat,
Oh, we should have put like
You have more than 15 minutes, but one comment. So I see some teams acting this out. That's good. Okay? Try to act this journey map. If you don't know what you're doing, I mean, don't just think, but try to act. Alright? Try to do a little role-playing game. Okay? Then you notice. Okay? So I think acting, it really helps you to understand the journey map. Alright?
And the next step, I think it depends on the person. So maybe some people, they open the bag and unpack before they sit down. Some people sit down and then they So it depends. I think we can say maybe sit down next.
Yeah, take a seat first, right.
So sit down. And we have unfold the desk.
This is in the next step when you open the bag, take out the product.
Or maybe if I don't have
Unpack. Unpack it.
The person doesn't carry the laptop. Leave your house without any bag and just carry your laptop?
And
Yeah?
get ready to start working, or maybe.
Be careful.
So switch to.
Or we are talking about
Or maybe that's
carry laptops.
Okay, the context, right?
Because I carry my laptop always.
These are all kind
I never go outside only with my laptop. If you carry, probably there are other people.
How about the
See, that's really good discussion. How do I hold this bookshelf? I have a bag, I have a coffee. Yeah, finally you reached the exactly.
Start from the wrong point.
So we have to right, so using it
Separate timeline for going to the bathroom.
So let's talk about our four and then with the first one. I carry my laptop in the bag. Okay, let's go to the maturity. And maybe if you have time, we can go over. So, meaning that you will find the
This is what the product is created, right? For doing your work. So this would be use case number 2 is going to the back. Taking a break.
So maybe the cashier can ask you like this. Sir, where have you find a seat? Where are you sitting? Will be sitting again. Okay, do you need a bookshelf? Yes, I need. Okay, in a minute, one of our guys will bring you the bag. It's not related to
okay, so I think this turn on light and also so when we flip this switch, this should turn on and this should go from green to red at the same time. Right? So this goes on, this changes. So this would be turn on light. Change status or change undefined status should be on the same side. So we have to
right.
Really?
Yeah. You can
There's a decent market. No.
So as we presented, we were envisioning that it would be purchased by like companies or schools. So our use case is like use case 1 is obviously just going out the back of the thing, getting up.
So we'll let you know.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you now, but I'll tell you later.
or maybe not.
You know.
take care.
Keio, I mean, or I mean the concentration test. Yes. So take it out. I told them that. I never told them what.
Organizer.
Can we ask? Is it made out of dumbbells?
It's an order. It's an order.
Is it like DIY? You buy it? So it's like a rule.
She'll check it out.
So you would have it inside your apartment.
Hardcore guy.
How much does it sell for?
57 yen. But yeah, you don't want
Right, but it doesn't have the soundproof benefit. So maybe
you should take that.
it's a different experience.
Different color.
The batteries can
And I have a coffee in my hand.
なんかこうホライゾンが広がる。ここモテねえでもやっちゃうんだよな。本当に勝利カードしててもやっちゃうんだよ。
Wait, you don't understand what I'm asking? Like, to come to life next day, I want to find their
どうして
weapon.
もポイントに使うんだけど、ポジションたどり着くために本当は山高をこう
Yeah.
デザインしてあげて、
Because if we can find somebody who
そんな山は誰も登れないっていう。
and how they position the product, I'm not really interested in
さっきのさ、
looking at. I
テ
want
レ
to
ビ
see
の
what they
サイ
say.
ズの話で思い出したんだけど、ハイネケンって聞いたことある。ハイネケンがセールスを80%ぐらい落とした時があって、それがね、まさにサイズの問題だったらしい。すごいこういいデザインして、かなりいい通い箱と一緒にセットで送ったんだけど、ハイネケンが売ってる店はみんなその通い箱で最適化したカウンターを作ってたんですよ。そこにこうカチッと止めて、そこから出せるっていうのが良かったのに、入れなくなった瞬間に、舐めてるのかっつって、それを入るやつで、他のやつがあったから、それに全部入る。でも知らなかったんですよ。そのサイズのプロトタイプを作んなくて、検証しないといけない。2ヶ月ぐらいで大キャンペーンですよ。それもう何人気がそんなのもうだと思う。なんか、なんとかっていう薬に、見ればいい。必ず鉄とかあれ重たく感じる。すごいっていうぐらいグッとこう重力を感じる。だから本当にリアルサイズで作ってね、超大事。画面で見てるだけで全然わかんない。逆に僕が作ったのは重厚感を出したいので、クロムメッキってこういうのでクロムメッキすると急に鉄に見えるんですけど、見えるだけでグッと重さが出ましてくる。それいかに重たく見
見せるのが大事なんですよ。軽いんだけど重たく見せるんですよ。でそうすると全体的にロー&ロングっていうグイッとエンジンを下に下げて、で全体の部品が下にこうぶら下がってるようにつけるんですよ。
そうすると重く見える。
でも実際プラスチックなんです
チームのさ、でも、いいでしょ、いいよ。
東アジアによくそしてヨシが極東の対象としてヨシがこの中東寄りに行くっていう結構馬力ありますね、
あのチームの中で。
代表に全然
ちょっと見てみましょう。
代表でビッグなかなかのアジリティを持ってます。
You just slice from the cover, you can take
How do you say? We have to test. So which one is the best? So actually there's three options.
the laptop and stays around.
Located in the counter. I was trying to located near the user section.
Will not fall because we will still connect. But what was your worry? That's why I'm taking
located near the
this tray is not about space. The tray needs more space. So it's just to organize. It's not about space. You're right.
This product is also like booking the seat.
Then we have the value of space because the tray actually needs more space.
Good perspective.
We have to think also another thing that we cannot use space for the tray, right? We have to put that this is one, and then we have to
Yeah, it's quite, maybe your product is quite big, so people can notice that, oh, there's someone already there. You know, when I see this, like this in the some table and chair, there's someone already there, and then I find that because there's someone already there. So this is the mark. There's a big still also as the picture.
And then now you have
the good thing that this product is to remember it. The good thing of the pen is that afterwards you can remember the words and that was the word. So I don't think that the value maybe the main one small value here is that
it might be hard to find where you are. It might be a new thing, and we have to figure out the best way to
and there is a chance of getting high to laptop might. Right, that's why we talk them.
Yeah, now, using the bookshelf. Think about
Yes. That's what we want to aim for.
Okay.
And where's the value?
Because it can be a goal, it can be a petrol, right? This one? I guess it's working off now.
Good abbreviation.
Yes. Value
Stands for different things, right? Yes, it's a bad abbreviation.
No, it's a good abbreviation.
No, see, Mexican guy tells you. So, yes, it's not good.
value.
So don't never abbreviate brainstorming as BS.
Easily, you just look for easily
have a BS, right?
find a test easily.
Oh yeah, that's the science.
And then you have
We need to think about PhD.
most likely this BS
Oh yeah, not most likely, 100%.
Okay.
It means like it's fake, it's a joke. It's not true. It means it's
It is automatic. So when I sit down at a desk,
When he said,
turn on the light.
oh, I won the lottery.
So I turn on the light for my desk. It's the same switch. When you turn on this light, this changes. It's automatic.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
So this is the same action. One action.
No, I already
Light
know
turns
it,
on
but
and
I
switches.
thought
This
it's
Okay, so I know many of you are still working on. I'll give you 15 more minutes, but here's what I want really you to try to do. So please try to identify your real value. I mean the core value, what you really want to focus on. I know you have several different things, but please try to identify the core value, or maybe values. All right, you might be several. But please try to identify the core values. And one more thing is that if there's any pain, a new pain, that might kill your new value to be delivered, then I want you to try to focus on that too. So please try to identify your core values and also a core killer that might be causing you a lot of trouble. All right? So please try to identify these two. And if you're still working on the journey, that's okay. Journey map, that's okay. But I'll give you another 15 minutes, and I'll maybe ask some team to present. What's your new findings, and maybe something you surprisingly found. Okay? All right, I'll give you another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the pain is this. The processing part because the processing part is too low, it takes
Where's the emotion sensor? Because I don't move that much.
although it is recognized by the sit position, the chair position, but sometimes people are just like, okay, that kind of position, I will have more space, and then I move the chair, right, some space, and then to get more space. So there might be a space confusion where really people cannot identify how much space he or she can have.
Could be a new pain. I mean, it's a very, very small pain. Because I usually turn on a light when I study.
And then you just like look cool. And like normally, the next step would be to put together at the same
First, we found the value. That's a
So maybe what we can do next is we come up with solutions for the case. Right? So we already have a solution for this. It's a high step. We don't know how. Maybe it's in the chair. The chair is connected to the desk. Right? So when you sit down, the light turns on.
Can I use your laptop?
It's already
Let's
here.
do
So do you think you need another step? Because the last will be very simple. So then,
solutions.
okay, he starts, use blah blah blah, and he wants to unpack.
There's space limitation. Someone here, someone here. And you're working on something like, okay, I can do it, and then simultaneously during your paper reading, you need to do something. So you cannot put here. You cannot put the paper here.
When he wants to unpack,
You can put it behind your monitor. Yeah, this thing. There we go. Oh, I find it. Something like that. Maybe like
Because when you go to the bathroom,
maybe under the table, it's not known that.
and then that means
But
this
at least
changes to
I've
make
been trying to figure out how to control this space limitation.
take the document.
It can also boost up his her workspace and also her work process. Can do like
right, but that's the problem. If you leave to go to the bathroom, then your light turns off and it says it's vacant, but it's not because you all have your books there. It's the computer, so that's a problem.
That's a good question because we didn't talk about where the pen was. We just say that
So maybe this is a bad idea, but it's still a
microphone slides down. But the pen,
imagine the bricks. Okay, your laptop's another case. If the bricks,
I mean, it's basically the same
the
thing,
brick
right?
of your lap, and this paper is really important. So that kind of bookshelf will prevent you to get that kind of splash, water splash.
But that's not a main part.
Yeah.
That's like hope like us.
Something
The finished cases of the just need to make the lighter. That's standard.
Like only like him, we cannot
But still,
convince
this
him.
is
Hey, one of the stakeholder. This is one of the stakeholder.
we talked that everything that we can trust is
We cannot even
the size and the weight of the coverage is bigger than your actual laptop.
Kind of shelf.
If you put the pen actually outside in the space of the laptop, it can be bigger than your already laptop, and it cannot fit your already bag. So you should find a place to include the pen outside.
So instead of like a class, we have
Just for example, I was in work and I got the laptop in my bag. Then the pen is here, like falling, and then I close and then I broke the pen. So if your solution is read in Chinese, I think it should be the same thing.
This is
It's safer to have everything together. We have like here, right? You have to remember all the things to bring and too busy. So maybe we have have a product that is compact, everything together,
I would be happy if I could.
I think that we have to find a place to put them together with the
This part I moved to that. Maybe you turn off the light. I can do both.
So then we put some extension here. We put some extension here.
Yeah, maybe these two.
And it's collapsible. You can put like in the bookshelf we can put some kind of hanger clip, something. If that's what function you need, yeah, we can provide that.
It has to be flat. You're right. Because if the tray is already like this,
hanger, right? Hanger clip. Yeah,
it will be like
But then I was thinking,
so maybe we should focus now on the core value. We have like a core
Since
value.
this is the same as this,
And then
we just put some green next to it. We
like,
have the same two
like,
steps.
The second, you know,
This is potential.
Extension clip with extension here.
Actually, if you're considering this in again, you have to consider
using like some other
what I think is that our core values,
But still, I think yeah, we just write it down. Just find a new sub-value.
we are focused on the customer who works without us that has a we have more, we have insights, which we want to organization is also important because you can just create, it doesn't create space, but it's good for a person who needs to work there. And also this one too, right? For the same figures.
Then kind of skip
So now you're thinking from the Starbucks point of view, right? Here's the idea. This book, pepper shell,
What do you think is
can
our
be
best
advertised.
value?
Because this is a lot of ways to be advertised. So like, when you visit Starbucks and then is there any new drinks this month, this year, something like that? You can only found that kind of advertising only near the cashier counter. But if that book, pepper shell, there's a new advertisement like, here's the new drinks this month. And then, oh, there's a new drink this month. So this can be also the advertisement. You can use as
We have more things or more games?
Well, that is that. This workshop is very well thought out. So let's have a spot.
That's how you're finding.
What we saw is that
A lot of
the
things
trade
found
is not
new games instead of new games. That happens.
the pen also not really
using this kind of product, which will comfort them to use the laptop over time. Okay, this to point. The customer will only bring is only one, or actually he might order another, which is that we make profit to Starbucks. I don't know the user behavior.
Because I think that you're so like saying that you love
They just enjoy one and only drink.
When you go to a
we
shop,
have three products, right?
please have your product, right? So it's not considered as a product. It's just a, you know, the product for you. You go to like Whole Foods, electric shop, you have a lot of new products on the shelf, and you can touch. Yeah, like what that button does, right?
That's why maybe the compact can do like this. Because the differentiation of our product is not about only creating space, but having three things. What is that? So, but maybe of three users that is not only about space, also about the keeper is the only one that creates space. Unless we have just the keepers.
When you go there and you can't find anyone.
The project can be just a keeper. You don't need the tray and the pen. And then the core value will be I think that we should make a decision after taking out the tray and the pen. Yeah, this is about the discussion.
Like Japanese people struggle with it when studying English. This is just they can't start out English to sell our people, even though they study only the startups. Yeah, it should have been. Really?
Alright. It's time. So please have a seat.
Yeah, but I think that you wanted to have this discussion.
Okay, I want to see hands. Who find more pains than values? More pains. Yes? Okay, yes. Well, I think you're right. I mean, this is your first iteration of your design, right? And it's likely to happen. You find more pain than the values or the gains, right? But now you know how to improve or what to improve. Yeah? If you can kill one or two or all pains that you just found or new pains that you just found, then your value can be delivered, right? Or will be received, right? Okay. So I want to maybe hear from maybe one or two teams. Let's hear what is a core value. Please remind us with what was your idea, and then tell us about your core value. And maybe the new pain you're a little concerned about. Who wants to talk about? Okay, Yoshi.
Yeah, what was your idea?
Our idea was about a software that translates
a foreign language, and it learns by your when you highlight the words.
Yes.
So like it uses a neural network.
Yeah. So it anticipates your yeah. Right. Okay.
And you're like, well, how you learn. I mean, like, highlight the words.
Okay.
And our core value is speeding up the time of reading the paper or something like that uses a foreign language.
Okay.
And we figured out, well, we used the once again the journey map,
Yes.
and we found out that if we are going to use the software on our PC, not laptops,
Yes.
It uses a neural network, so it doesn't have the necessary processing power.
Okay.
So we found out that this is a very big pain for us.
Okay.
And in this part, we try to eliminate that pain to gain this our core value.
Okay.
And we try to figure out that why the pain occurs. And we started on how, well, like Facebook works. And Facebook is, well, uses only the browser, and it only uses a web interface. So like we got the idea from that software, not software, but kind of usability. And we started from the web interface, and we, well, there's a server on the cloud, or maybe something like that, on the network, and that server gives us the data we need to use to read the papers we want to read, and we download it beforehand in our laptop, and then we use it on the, well, some kind of, well, in our case we were trying to use it on a train.
Okay.
So
can you briefly take us through the journey?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Quickly. Yeah.
right. Okay. After the new solution, or before the new solution?
I mean, with the new solution.
With the new solution. Okay. Beforehand, we would have to access the internet and select the papers we want to read, and download the data from the cloud service.
Okay.
And then we board a train. We take a seat. We open the bag. We remove the laptop.
Yes.
We switch it on. We open the material, start software,
Yeah.
and the software translates,
Yes.
and we start reading. We highlight unknown words that wasn't in the pre-translation. We translate it. The software learns, and we continue reading, and we finish. We shut it down the laptop. We pack it up, and we send up, and we get off the train.
Right.
That's our journey map.
Okay. Okay. Good. So, all right. Did you learn anything new by doing this in such a high resolution way? Maybe your team?
So one of the major things that we learned was, one of our major insight was that, for example, if KP is using the laptop,
Yeah.
and the software has adapted to him, his reading style. For example, if his level of a foreign language is this high, the laptop has already adapted to it. While if his siblings is not that high, and what if they use the same software? So they might have to highlight more words. So what we came up was that we'll have a login ID.
Okay.
So whoever reads it
Right, you
has,
need to identify the
yeah.
individual using the software. Okay, all right, good. Yeah, sure.
Also, we learned that gains and pains differ according to the use case you're having. So sometimes it might tend to be a pain for you, but in another use case, it's not. If you have a higher processing capability, it might not be a pain.
Sure.
So it's something variable.
Right.
That's what.
So you may want to have a different use cases, right?
Yeah.
Maybe different type
and
of
it depends on the
users.
user himself. Also.
Exactly, different type of users, maybe different type of occasions. What if you were just riding your train for 5 minutes? Can you still use this? Right, or things like that. Okay, good, good. So making a higher resolution understanding really helps you to what to think about. All right, good, thank you. All right, let's hear from the other team. Okay, yeah. Okay. How about, okay, yeah, Sasha. Or your team.
I just wanted to say just a little interesting point that we found out during discussion. Yeah. Oh, thank you. actually it's not there. We have had the bag that has extendable parts for papers and so on, but we found out that it's a little bit bulky and big. So the main pain point would be that people don't want to buy and use it because it is so big unless it becomes popular. So the main point is to make it popular so people want to buy and use it. Because once they use it at home, they feel, yeah, that may be useful, yeah, and comfortable, but in public, so people may not want to buy it because they think that they will never use it in public places.
Yes. Well, do you know a very popular car, right, had the same strategy? Okay? So, like he said, people may appreciate the value once it's really popular, right? Then people will start buying this. There's a very popular car, specific type, was introduced to the world such a way. So they had the very same strategy, okay? Before, at the same time they start selling this car, they wanted to make it popular. Tesla? Well, Tesla, yes, kind of. Before Tesla. Prius? Yes, Prius. Do you know how they did? Do you know Prius? No, it's a Toyota's hybrid car. That's a sold, I think, the most sold hybrid cars. Okay? What they did is they gave it to Hollywood superstars. Okay? And then they rode it to the red carpet, basically. And then Leonardo DiCaprio, he stepped out from the Prius. Not the Lamborghini, not the, I don't know, Maserati, right? But they just got there with a hybrid car, which they, there's a message of, hey, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm being very earth cautious, or I'm concerned about environment message. So this is what they did. Even the Prius becomes so big, they just gave it to the Hollywood superstars and they asked them to ride to the red carpet. And they did, and then the Prius was understood as it's a very eco-friendly car, and it's popular among these celebrities who's concerned about whatever, environment. So maybe you want to hire Leonardo DiCaprio, or maybe somebody younger, maybe, I don't know, right? But it's the very same strategy, and Tesla as well. Tesla was actually, they wanted to go to that very high-end auto manufacturing or automobile, right? So they asked the Palo Alto people, or maybe people in a very rich area, to drive that around. Good. All right, thank you. Thank you. So I hope most of you found, things that you need to fix, right? And then most of you found, hey, our solution never works, right? Maybe this theme was interesting. Maybe I'll let you guys talk, yeah? You found that your solution had a little issue, right? At the very beginning, right? Tell us about it. Can you describe your solution in the beginning?
Can you hold?
Yeah.
So, it was very interesting to welcome the Nobu to our team, because he's a new team member and he doesn't know our solution for last week. So we started explaining to him, and then we couldn't even convince him. Only know one person. So how can we start the business? But anyway, so we learned the lesson.
Yeah. What was your solution?
Our solution was the stuff that we can hold at the Starbucks, because we wanted to use our space when it's crowded at the Starbucks. We wanted to use our space like very space limitation. So we were thinking about like something like this can hold our stuff, so that when we Google and reading at the same time, if you wanted to put your stuff on your lap or when you're on your side or something like that, you can just install this
bookshelf thing, so by your side. But then, so our idea was not having the bookshelf individually, but then we wanted to sold to the Starbucks, so the Starbucks can hold the things, and then they can lend to the customers. So when we enter the Starbucks, right, and then Starbucks is always crowded, so we wanted to find a seat first. So we find a seat, and then you put your stuff on the chair, and then you buy the coffee, and then you pay and stuff like that. Then when we thought that we wanted to our bookshelf on the counter, so after you buy the coffee, you wanted to bring your this bookshelf and the coffee and your stuff. So we find out that you cannot bring a lot of stuff at the same time. So we wanted to think about maybe we can place the bookshelf on the entrance so that if user wants to use the bookshelf when you enter the Starbucks, you can bring your the bookshelf and then you can place in your seat. So after we did this thing, we found out that our service needs to be fixed so that we can convince even Nobu.
So this may be the summary. So can you hold it? Yeah. So at first we're thinking about, so where's the value, where's the pain? So then, okay, we're thinking about where is this kind of book or paper shelf should be placed, and then okay, first value, we put that shelf in the counter, and then yeah, just like she said, okay, maybe the customers bring too much stuff. Okay, that's a pain. So that's the first pain. We cannot put that stuff in the counter, and then we come up with another solution. Okay, we try to make a new value here. How about we put those, you know, when you go to Starbucks and you can add some more sugar, coffee, milk, and something. Okay, let's put that shelf near that sugar section or something. But then we're thinking again about, okay, but he or she still need to add some sugar and coffee and milk, but hey, can he or she do that simultaneously with that kind of drinks? Okay, that's a new pain, and then we need a new value. And then how about we put it on our table? But then we're thinking, are you sure that it will be crowded or something? And then after we kill that third pain, we came with the, we hope this is maybe the new value without a new pain. So we put that shelf near the entrance, and actually we found a new value. Because you know, Starbucks is always crowded, and if you don't quickly find your seat, it will be placed by another one. But you still need to still need to buy the drink. So you're thinking out like, okay, do I need to find a seat first, or do I need to buy the drink first? So we came with that idea. Okay, that shelf, it could be used as the reservation place. So you took that shelf, and then you find a seat. Okay, this is my seat, and then you put the shelf, and then you go to order your drinks. Something like that.
Great, thank you. What's that, Maya?
It's another value, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you see, this is how your design iteration should go about. So it's not about just improving your shelf itself, but they were thinking about the context that shelf will be used, right? And then they were talking, hey, this won't work, that won't work. But they found out, hey, maybe this can work as a sign that this seat is already taken. Yeah, maybe problem solved, new value introduced, maybe. Yeah, so how would you check whether this is a new value and no pain?
We will check.
What would you do?
Because this is still on the customer point of view, and we will, after this, if we still have time, we would like to check from the Starbucks point of view.
Oh, okay. So draw a new the journey map for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And then maybe you can go downstairs and prototype, right, with the tallies people. Yeah. Don't tell them this is a Starbucks solution. but maybe a quick prototype or quick test with the people downstairs might give you some insights. Yeah, great. So yeah, they just introduced us to the design iteration process. That's good. So this really helps. This really helps you to understand what you've been talking about and what might be the value, what might not be the value. Okay? And then this was the introduction to the value proposition discussion that we're going to do with Hiro and me later on today. All right? Great. So keep that, the sheet on the table because we will use that later on. So let's take a break. Let's take a 10-minute break. So a little past 25, I would want you to be back here. Okay? So 10-minute break, we will have Hiro introduce himself and we're going to start talking about other things. All right.